All right, today we're jumping into a conservation story, but trust me, this is not your typical tale. This is a fight for survival where the front line is in a place you would never expect, and the enemy, well, the enemy isn't who you think. This is a hidden battle being fought on dusty roads and in quiet communities, all to save a wild icon.
So, meet the star of our story, the African wildcat. It's beautiful, it's fierce, and it's actually the wild ancestor of every single house cat. But its very existence is hanging by a thread. And this isn't just about the usual threats like habitat loss. No, this is something way more subtle, something that's literally erasing the species from the inside out.
And here's the twist that changes everything. What if the single biggest danger to the African wildcat is just a regular domestic cat? I mean, how is that even possible, right? Well, it all boils down to a simple biological process, but one with absolutely devastating consequences.
The threat has a name: hybridization. See, when domestic cats and feral cats breed with their wild cousins, the unique genetic code of the African wildcat just gets diluted. It's like adding water to paint. Over generations, the wildcat literally vanishes, just blending into the huge domestic cat population until, poof, it's gone for good.
But in this quiet war for genetic survival, there are heroes on the ground. A small, unbelievably dedicated group is drawing a line in the sand, and they're fighting back. They call themselves the Cat Assistance Team, or C.A.T. for short.
So, what makes this team so important? Get this. In their entire region, C.A.T. is the only organization tackling this problem at this scale. They're the primary defense force, managing the populations of domestic and feral cats that live right on the edge of the wildcat's home turf.
And this is them, you know? No big, shiny headquarters, no massive fleet of trucks. This is a true grassroots effort, powered by passionate volunteers who are out there in the field every single day, making a real, tangible difference.
And this just puts their challenge into perspective. 2 volunteers and 1 vehicle. Just let that sink in for a minute. They are stretched to the absolute limit, and yet the impact they have, well, as you're about to see, it is nothing short of heroic.
Their battle isn't simple either. It's being fought on 2 completely different fronts, and each one requires a totally unique strategy and a really deep understanding of the local environment and the community.
On one side, you've got these vast, remote farmlands, basically the wildcat's backyard. And on the other, you have these dense, often impoverished urban settlements where that line between a wild animal and a domestic one has become dangerously blurry.
Out in the rural areas, the work is just painstaking. They have to trap these truly wild-at-heart feral cats, which is slow, difficult, and takes a ton of patience. But in the urban areas, it's a whole different challenge. It's more of a social one, working with communities where cats are loosely owned. That means building trust, educating people, and providing support they just couldn't get otherwise.
So how do they possibly do all this? Well, their main strategy isn't about removing cats. It's a compassionate, internationally recognized method that's all about humane population control. It's called Trap, Neuter, Return, or TNR. It's a simple, brilliant 3-step process. First, they humanely trap the cats. Second, the cats get top-notch veterinary care where they're sterilized. And third, once they're all recovered, they're brought right back to the territory they know as home.
The whole process kicks off right here. Every single capture is done with so much care, really trying to keep the animal as calm as possible. This isn't just about efficiency, it's about respecting each animal along the way.
Now, this is what I find so amazing. Look at the level of detail here. Each cat that's recovering has its own paperwork, its own record. This is not some assembly line, it's a meticulous medical operation, making sure every single animal gets the individual care it needs to recover safely.
And here we are at the final step. The traps are covered to keep the cats calm as they wait for their ride home. Then they're released back into their familiar environment. They can't reproduce anymore, but they can live out their lives, which actually helps stabilize the colony and creates that vital buffer zone for the wildcats.
Okay, so we've seen all the hard work this tiny team is putting in, but does it actually, work? Well, the numbers tell a really powerful story.
7,264. Since 2020, this small team has sterilized that many cats. I mean, that's over 7,000 links broken in the chain of overpopulation. Each one of those prevents the birth of countless more kittens down the line. It's incredible.
But this number, this is the one that really speaks to their core conservation mission. 11.
In the course of their work, they've identified and genetically tested 11 high-purity African wildcats. This ensures these crucial animals are protected from hybridization so they can carry on a pure gene pool.
And their work goes even further. I mean, look at this. Beyond the sterilizations, we're talking nearly 20,000 parasite treatments, over 1,400 medical cases, and they've even found new homes for more than 1,000 cats. This is total animal welfare and hardcore conservation, all rolled into one.
This map just lays it all out so perfectly. The purple dots, those are their sterilization campaigns, creating a kind of firewall. And the orange dots, that's where they've found pure or hybrid wildcats. You can literally see how their hard work is building a protective buffer around that precious wild population.
And this quote from the team, it just says everything, doesn't it? Their daily, grinding work with domestic cats is at its heart an act of wildlife conservation. They see the huge picture in every single animal they help.
And this really reveals such a crucial point. Saving a species doesn't always happen way out in some remote national park. Sometimes it starts by caring for one tiny kitten in a community that might have been forgotten. It's about understanding that the health of our domestic animals and our wild animals are completely, totally connected. Well, the incredible work of the cat assistance team gives us the answer. It proves that focused, determined, and compassionate action, even on a really small scale, can build a powerful firewall of care that protects the very essence of a species for generations to come.